cat. Hello everyone, I'm Zuzka, the Craftsy penguin, and I'm filming this update before breakfast, which might not be a good idea, but I have this small window that can end at any point actually to give you an update on my makes and even my stash if you're interested. So, first thing I have to say is that I was working on two things that I can't show you yet. One is completely done and hidden away, and the other one is still in progress. But yeah, that one, both of those are going to be a surprise and I can't show you. So part of my progress I can't show you yet. You will have to wait for that. I think you'll like it, but a few more weeks for one of the things and probably a few more months for the other one. Sorry. But one thing I started, well, just about a week ago. It was quite a quick make. I found myself at a point where a lot of my projects were finished, like the kaleidoscope top that I'm wearing, and I was just asking myself what to make next, and I went into my stash and picked up that Lion Brand Mandala Centaur cake, which I had plans for to make the Nautilus top for my mother. And the Nautilus top is a drops design, which is free online, and I will link it. And I found the design really nice, but when I started making it, I saw that I'll need to make some changes to it. So in the end, it's an experimentation and well, a creative take on the original design, because I had thinner yarn, smaller hook, so the basic squares came out smaller, and I didn't like the construction of the bottom part of the original. I'll show you. I'll show you the picture of the original design here, and you'll see that it's taken from a side, but it originally wants you to make two big squares and join them so that the joining part, which looks like lacing, is in the middle on the belly, basically. And I didn't find that really flattering. So in the end I went again through the finished projects at Ravelry at that pattern and found someone who made 3 squares and joined them around the body asymmetrically so that the joining seam is at one side and at side front, and the other is really at side. So I did it that way, and when making the upper part I just went to town with different rows of different designs, so again not following the original pattern. I'll show you. I hope it will be visible here. This is the finished top. It has those squares at the bottom, so the mandala was again color changing yarn. So there's one is this mustard color, one dark one and one lighter one, so mom can choose which side she wants to have in front, because the upper part is the same at front and in back. So originally I made these 3 squares, joined them together, not with lacing but with just, you know, mattress stitch, and then did those 2 rows here, then made the arm size with just joining a bit from the half point, and I did like, well, you can see a bit of this mesh pattern, and the original pattern has this kind of pattern all over the top, so from like here up it has this rows of triple crochets and single crochets. So, and then I did some V-stitches up here. Yeah, so the front and the back, the only difference is the color, because the color changing just went like this, and I did a bit of weighing the yarn and snipping off and using the same color, you know, at front and back, not to have like a harsh connecting line where the colors would be completely different when I did the whole front and then started the back. So I worked on the front and the back, you know, at the same time. So yeah, and then I have had like this small remainder to make some sort of hemming at the neckline. So I did these small shells. Yeah, and I really like this design of the double crochet windows in here. I think it's really great. Mom likes these kind of tops to wear over a camisole or a t-shirt, so she likes this, you know, as a second layer. So I made this for her, and she haven't seen it yet, so I'm curious to know what she'll say, but I think she'll be happy with that. So yeah, that's all done. Come here. Yeah. So that's one thing, and well, the other thing is the mandala, which I haven't done any progress since last time. It still has the decorative edging that I have to rip back, but excuse me. Tea. Get yourself fun. Yeah, it's morning. Sorry. But yeah, I'll have to unravel the last 3 rows and just continue. But now I have the material to do that. So one is still in the packaging, one is unpacked. Again, like the colors, right? They're amazing. This was a whole ordeal because well, Blanca ordered those from the German Amazon, as I mentioned before, and the first package just got lost because I wasn't online enough to run to the door when they called that they're here, and it got returned probably. Well, Blanca filed, you know, this, how do you call that? Well, she basically told Amazon that it didn't work, and they sent another package with the same goods. And this time it was mostly a similar scenario because I was leaving home for going to my friend to feed her kitties, and when I was at our tram station, Blanca wrote me that the package is at my door, like the courier. So again, I missed them by a few minutes, you know. I was so I was trying to call this number of the courier to let them know where to leave the package, you know, at the closest pickup point or something. And there was still this automated response that they can't talk with me at that point. And well, then interestingly and thank gods, Blanca got this update that it got left at a pickup point close to my place. So I was hoping it's there, but I still had no number of the package, or you know, this Zasilkovna system has these passwords to pick up the packages. So when I went back there to the pickup point, the guy there was like, I have no clue which package belongs to you, I can't give it to you, or I don't even know if it's there. So I got on the info line with that company, and when I got through the automated, you know, system, I finally got to a human who was really helpful and managed to connect that package with my phone number and my app in the phone. And at that point I had the password, like a miracle, and went back to the shop, and the guy was able to find that package with those two Ferris wheels. So when I got home and opened it, it was alright. There were two of these in there, and now I can continue with the mandala vest. So this will be growing. The only sad thing is that Blanca already left to the US, of course, so she'll be back sometime around Christmas, so I have sort of a lot of time to finish that. But yeah, I'm going to work on that between other projects that I have to make now. I'm also considering making this beaded project now, and I need to choose beads for that. It's again for Cleo, and it's again a small thing like the coin amulet was. This time it's the movement from a pocket watch, which is like a sort of exposed mechanics, and she wants that in a beaded case, so I will try to make that. And one last thing I wanted to update you before other chatter, if I have time for that, is my stash situation. I told you Blanca brought me some extra balls of yarn from the US, the Red Heart Stripes and the one ice cream yarn, but and I still have the remainder of that rainbow ice yarn, but Blanca told me her little daughter wants a ruffle hat just like mommy, so I will be making a ruffle hat out of that. But even with that added number of yarn, or the amount of yarn, I looked into that exported Ravelry Excel sheet that you have available there, and I saw that I exported it once the last day, or the 30th of January this year, and it is almost half year from there, so I exported it again, and here are the numbers. You know, I have it in my notebook here. So in January I had 200.87 skeins of yarn, and now I have 147.69 skeins of yarn, in which 7 of the US ones are counted in. So that's minus 53.18 skeins of yarn. Which, well, those skeins are different with every brand of yarn, but that's quite a progress, I'd say. In grams, it's 17,652 in January grams of yarn, and 13,733 grams of yarn now, which is almost 4 kilograms of yarn down, which is great. and it includes these extra almost a kilogram of yarn from the US, so I used up almost 5 kilograms of yarn. I also have this bag of the labels, which will help me to go through this mathematics and yarn stash update at the end of the year, I think. So that was in grams. In items, which means what I have used up entirely, you know, as a type of yarn, I had 157 items in the Excel sheet, and I have 148 now, which is -9, but there is +6 in the final number, so basically I used up 15 items of yarn, but added 6, you know. And then in meters, which are the craziest numbers, it's 50,913 meters at the start of the year and 43,386 meters by now. And it's using up something like 7,500 meters of yarn. And included in the final number is the 1,655 meters of yarn. In kilometers, I had 50 kilometers of yarn, and now I have 43 kilometers of yarn. Wow. Those are crazy numbers. And I know in that stash busting series that Retro Claude had, and I'll link that in the description, she counts her yarn in 50-gram balls of yarn. She uses mainly woolen yarns, which are different in weight to mine, mainly cotton and acrylic stash. But counting not with 50 grams but 100 grams balls of yarn, which some of mine are 100-gram yarn balls, some are 50-gram, some are bigger, you know that yarn cakes are 250 grams, so it's difficult to know how big my average yarn ball is. But if I was counting in 100-gram balls, I'd have in January 176.5 100-gram balls of yarn, and now I do have 137.33, so a third of a yarn ball left. So that's almost 40 yarn balls down, which is great. I don't even know where it went. But yeah, I know that sweater, that the cardigan ate up, you know, like 1350 grams or 47-gram balls of yarn. But yeah, and in this counting, there is not that Nautilus top, which was made out of that half-kilometer mandala. So that's again quite a big chunk of that stash used up, which is great. So I'm gaining some space. I can see that I gained some space in those cubbies that I store the yarn in. So I can hear the kiddo coming. For now, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like the video. Thank you. Enjoy the colors. Bye! Come here.